Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with the amazing Wolf, and welcome to a lovely Monday, and general share advice and not personal advice, as per the disclaimer. And Wolf, all in black, mate. I understand.
Morning, unfortunately. Australia, Poland, England's next to go out.
Well, unfortunately, but let's be honest. You played against the world champions, the French. Very good team, and I think, yeah, like you said, England are going to have to play out of their skin to beat them. They've that Mbappe, unbelievable.
Oh, the guy's got so much pace that I'm worried for Maguire.
I'm worried for the TV cameraman trying to keep up with it, mate.
He's unbelievably quick. It's almost like, please don't play me against him. Please don't play me against him. Anyway, it should be a good game. It's good to see England get through, but of course, this is the way it starts probably from England, because really they've played like Andorra, they've played bloody Albania, Malta so far in their World Cup.
Yeah,
there's no one there that actually has given them any trouble.
Well, we were hoping you were going to beat France, so we could have played Poland.
I know. But this is the first really proper side that you're coming up against this World Cup.
Yeah,
so let's see how we go.
I hear Lewinsky is that great Polish forward is going to get a British passport, which will be interesting.
Is he? Oh. Everyone's getting out.
All right, Wolf. Let's have a look. News today. Okay, good story. MTS on Einstein's. Good announcement. Good chart. More likely to go up and retest that 450. I think they go down. So, if you're looking for a short-term trade, I think you got one there on MTS. But a nice story. Very, very nice. Nice story. Nice, good announcement. Wolf pays a good dividend, and these are not easy times. You've got a nice staple like Metcash, IGA, giving a nice little 5% fully gross, 6.5% dividend. One of the more secure stocks, I think, to buy, Wolf.
Yeah, well, today's announcement with the results was pretty decent. You've got 10% growth, up to 10% growth, top line, bottom line. I think there was 13% growth on the EPS line. All up, it looks pretty good. So probably the premier stock in that consumer staples, Dave. Definitely better than Woolies, definitely better than Coles for me, from what I can see. And a great dividend to boot, and it's not too expensive. It's probably cheaper than all the other two as well. So overall, you're holding this as a dividend story, no problems. But if you think there's a trade in this, Dave, then you've got an extra incentive to hold and buy.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, we don't have to put it on officially, but I think nearly most of our members are in this for a long term. So, but if you're not, I think it looks very, very, very good. Wolf, XRG, X Reality, which they have sort of video game centers, don't they, in skydiving, all this sort of stuff. Really nice looking chart, and they came up with again another positive announcement with Freak Entertainment opening on their fifth venue on Surfers Paradise. So they're doing stuff. The share price is moving, it's trending, and this one again, I don't know, doesn't look too bad on the charts.
Yeah, look, I don't follow the story that closely, Dave. So I can only say this is going to be a trading story. But it's going to be volatile, and really, fundamentally speaking, it's probably not quite there as a good fundamental story. I mean, it's probably a lot of time.
Has all these escape rooms, Wolf?
Doesn't it XRG also has got this drone shield with them, teamed up with Drone Shield Tactic Solutions?
It could have done. But anyway, good looking chart. Some news out. I wouldn't be buying it really if I was a sort of punter in a way. Would have a stop loss just under that 69, but I think there's better stories out there at the moment.
Fair enough.
AMS. Talk us about AMS, because
two words, and I'm sorry to use poor language, but it's piss poor, really. Sales were pretty poor during the Black Friday sales. They are doing cost cutting and so on to save money, but they should have been doing that like 12 months ago at least. Really just fallen from grace. the shenanigans that have been going on at the CEO level. Basket case, do not touch, stay away.
Yeah, it's funny. We get a lot of people sort of emailing us about this one, Wolf, and it's the same question. And again, it could go, you never know, it could go broke, right? It looks awful. The price action.
It's such a shame because it promised so much. I actually like the products, but this is what happens when you get bad management, Dave. Doesn't matter how great their product is. This is what can happen, go from $1.40 to 8 cents. And that's why we put such a huge emphasis on management in the fundamental stage.
Look, let's have a look at PMB, Premier Investments. They've got some great products, Wolf. They've got
The beautiful pajamas. Oh, I love those. Silky stuff.
Well, yeah, Alexander, what they called, the pajama company?
Peter Alexander,
right? Which apparently where you get your pajamas from.
Oh, you can't. Once you go silk, Dave, there's no turning back. Trust me.
All right.
So don't go silk.
But at the end of the day, I think they're the to-go place in Australia, aren't they? This is why I think this is why we're losing all the rugby games at the moment, because Peter Alexander softening us all up. A nice little. But they've got.
Soften me up, Mr. Alexander. Soften me up. I like you.
But they've got a good range of products. They're doing well, and PNB also got the is it Sniggle?
Yep. And the thing is, Dave, at the end of the day, top 3 probably retailer by reputation, with Solomon Lew in charge. So really, if you're going to be trading any retail stock in this really difficult market, which, at the moment, we've probably got a negative view on the retail space, this is one that's actually defying gravity. And if you're going to be trading this is it.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think, I wouldn't be trading it, maybe off the daily. It just needs to do a little bit more, Wolf. But, and the dividend isn't big enough, is it? To really hold.
Let me just double check this div of PMVs, but I don't think it's ever been huge on divs. Let me see. I don't see any div at all. Actually, there we go. It comes up now. 5.5. Actually, not bad.
Well, that's
not bad at all.
That's
grossed up. So about 4%.
Okay.
Not bad.
It's not terrible, but I think we got better out there.
Oh, look, like I said, I mean, because the actual sector is not great, I think I'd rather play something else, right? But like I said, if you're just a lover of Peter Alexander like me, you might be in it. You never know.
All right, Wolf, let's have a look at Einstein's, because there really wasn't much out today to sort of get us excited. I think
before you do that, can we just go through the FN Arena 3 stories that are on there?
Yeah, go on, far away.
I just want to go through them before we forget, because we've got a tendency to forget.
I think Elders you want to have a look at, didn't you?
So Elders UBS had a rating of a buy. They did reduce their price target significantly, by the way, from 15 to 11.30. So that's a massive drop. And due to their forecast, that they've said the forecast will go from FY23 to 8 by 18%, FY24 by 90%. So basically what they're saying is challenges are building, including reduced earnings from Elders agency business. So they are taking a view that things will slow down for Elders, and possibly the rosy times that they've had a really good 10-year run are coming to an end. Now, for me, they have just gone completely silly for me, UBS, and I still think this is a premier agri stock on Australia, and they'll still probably come up with growth somewhere. So I don't understand the huge cuts to the earnings all of a sudden. So look, like I said to you previously, we still have to stick to the CTM, right? So we're going to wait within the week. I'm not going to panic yet, but we've got this as a $10 between 10 and 14 dividend play. So we're going to stick to that and see how we go.
Yeah, and at the moment, it doesn't look good at all, I'll be honest. I mean,
no, it doesn't, but let's just go wait till the end of the week, see what happens.
Yeah, certainly you wouldn't be buying it.
No, definitely not, you wouldn't be buying it. But like I said, I think that change of CEO has really put the pigeon, how do you say the pigeons amount something? I can't remember.
Okay.
Stop saying with pigeons.
Okay, It's a Polish saying, I'm sure. All right, Wolf. What's the next one?
That's among the pigeons. That's the one.
Cool.
I've watched too much soccer, Dave. My mind's going just completely blank. Go on. Next one is we're going to look at IGO, Ordminet, right? So this is an interesting one because there's a lot of bullishness around IGO. However, there's one broker is really negative, and that's Ordminet. So they've got a price target of $10.10. So that's a outlier on the negative side, right? At $10.10. They just basically talked about the Defier at Novamind plus the Kwinana hydroxide plant, which they updated today saying go commercial production. So at the end of the day, it's just an outlier for you to know that there is someone out there that thinks this is worth only $10 and see what happens. But I probably somewhere in between. I'd say it is a good story overall, long term.
So what are the more higher value sort of target prices?
I think we saw them. Remember, I think we saw Macquarie at about 20. I mean, that's the differences between the two, right? 10 versus 20. I mean, that's a huge range. That's a huge range. So there you go. I mean, who do you believe? So you take the middle ground and say, I bet you none of them are right. I'm taking the middle ground.
Yeah.
So probably about 15, it would be about right.
That's probably where it's trading. And lithium prices
are still good.
Are good, and iron ore was up again over the weekend. So if you're in that, you wouldn't be.
However, it doesn't have any iron ore, Dave.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get confused.
So I keep thinking why do I always think it's mineral resources?
I don't know. Oh. But look, it's a nickel / copper / lithium play.
Yeah, you know why? Because I was looking at mineral, and I was thinking, I look at them. So they've got iron ore and lithium.
Yeah,
looks better.
Yes.
Doesn't it? You can see from the chart, even going higher. Wolf, I think we had them both on Einstein's actually.
Yeah, you did. I saw the MIN on there. Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. So would you trade IGO at the moment?
It's a good question. No, I probably wouldn't. I think the commodities are all over the shop at the moment, so I'll maybe wait for a better moment to trade them. But I still think IGO is probably one of the better ones in there when you look at our commodity stories.
All right.
Last one I want to quickly talk about IPL, Dave, is from the FN Arena. And that's Morgan Stanley have got an overweight. So this is one we're trading. Sorry, not trading. Sorry, we got it as a dividend play. We only put it on last week. And price target of $5.05. That's a big difference between the two. So this is this is one of those outliers at the top ends, right? And we probably understand that this is going to be cyclical. At the moment, the cycle is going in its way. And when you think about it, when is the cycle going to end? I don't think it's going to end that quickly with ammonia and everything else, right? The fertilizer. So for me, I'm happy to hold on for the moment with this dividend. We only just put it on, so 12 months. Let's give it and see how we go from there. Good dividend story, not too expensive. Good results recently. So yeah.
And people need to understand it's down today because it's ex-dividend today.
Correct.
Right. So obviously, don't worry about that little fall today and enjoy the fully franked dividend.
Exactly, and it's a good one too, about 9% fully franked.
Say no more.
Grossed up.
Yep. Oh, all right.
Go on to your Einsteins, please, Dave.
Yeah, listen, we only had one bicycle, not a bad looking chart. I don't know. Do you know anything about?
No, I had a quick look at it, nothing. Because I went flicking through your Einsteins and this one, I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah. So and just a early day little story, really.
Yeah, I saw. What did I did see? At least they've got some revenues, right? But it went down about 20%. So I thought, now pass next. I mean, there could be some announcement coming. So that's the reason why you go through that and see what else is going on. But well picked up on as a bicycle. You never know. There could be something coming up in this.
Yeah, week. that's what most probably is. Maybe some news coming out, possibly. But Soul Pats. I quite like the look of the chart of Soul Pats, Wolfie. I'll tell you what I like about it. It's back above the water level, and it's starting to swing a little bit. Now it could do a little bit more, but certainly you've got coal prices have come back over the last 2 weeks, and I think equally Brickworks is doing quite well on the charts as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So Coal, Brickworks, this is why it's swinging upwards again, because we saw the others last week starting to move up again. So definitely a good play. Overall, look, if you're just buying it for management, you probably can do much worse than these guys. These guys are very, very good operators.
You got the coal plays, which I think all look good. A little bit down today with the coal price, but I think most probably an opportunity if you like these coal stocks to get one of them. STX, Strike Energy, good looking chart. It started going through it. Looks very, very nice. Wolf, I think maybe the nicest chart was MRM. Agree.
I think that was a perler of a chart, and I thought, if I'm a beginner, if I'm looking at Einstein's, this is the one I'd probably go for. That's my feeling anyway, because I just the setup of it, the nice big green candle last week, Dave. When you read through the actual analysis, and this is why I encourage everyone, if you're flicking through your Einstein's, Dave, to do a little bit more extra research to see what these guys are about, see what the last announcement was like. Is there any catalyst coming up? And they reported very well. They said that 2023 started pretty well for them too. You should see some movement upwards for this for sure.
Wolf, maybe some of the bigger ones. I know Car is a stock you're a little bit of a fan with.
Oh yes,
it has run a little bit hard, but at the end of the day, I don't see why with the markets looking bullish, it can't retest somewhere just under that 25.
Great.
Also, I thought News Corp was interesting price action after being in the doldrums for a little bit. The price action over last week I thought was great.
Yeah, look, the thing is, I did look at this one, right, on your Einsteins. I thought, okay, what are the catalysts? And then I looked at Murdoch's, what they're doing at the moment, trying to merge Fox, and it's just too difficult. So for me, it's a complex business. So I'll leave it to the traders out there, pretty much.
Well, what you got to do is hope they've got it right.
Exactly.
But yeah, listen, at the end of the day, you've got to stop loss on these things. Now,
exactly.
Well, AGI definitely will. We put it on last week as an official trend. I thought it ended the week. Maybe it could have done a little bit better by the end of the week, but I still think it good story, good candle, good chart. It's going up.
Very harsh, Dave. It's gone up 30% odd last week. That's
well. No, I think it was up like 50 or 60.
50%, exactly. So I'm thinking, I'm happy for it to come back. It gives everyone an opportunity to get some.
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying I would have liked it to not to come back, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course. But still a great looking chart though. And the fundamentals sort of add up to, for me, that I thought this is the one that probably makes a good sense for a hot stock. And lo and behold, a hot stock.
Yeah, it's funny, Wolf. I went through 2,500 stories and it still felt, the hot stock. It always picks itself, and often it's one that you like because I am looking at your fundamentals as well, right?
Well, always.
Now, one that I did like, I mean, okay, you've got I've got some nice charts here, but one I thought was interesting was a Mesoblast. So I was going to actually ask you about this one because it's been in this horrible downturn. And it's just started to look a little bit better. And so what's happening here, Wolf? Why is a Mesoblast coming back?
I don't know. And to be honest, I don't want to know. The reason why these biotechs, Dave, way over my head. And I tell you what, probably some traders coming. There probably is some sort of announcement coming, but it's for the high risk punters out there. This sort of trading with these biotechs. It's just too difficult, too technical, too difficult for me. Pass.
Well, you know what, Wolf? It hasn't had any news out either, so maybe there is something bubbling. So anyway, good chart. You got a nice little stop anyway, just under that.
I definitely I like the chart, and when I flick through, this is definitely one of the better ones. But I thought, I just can't play with these things when I don't understand them.
KSC. Again, the right sort of sector, which is trending at the moment. The only trouble with this one, very lightly traded. So, but good looking chart. The other one, Ash. So really liked Ash. So, which I know nothing about the company. So when I say I really like something, it's all about the chart.
Doesn't mean much.
But I did have a look, Wolfie. It's giving, if I believe it, a 12% dividend on a P of 9.
Yep.
So I think they gave a special dividend. So say it's 10% or 9%. I think grossed up it would be 12.5%, right?
Yeah, something like. Let me just double check on mine, but it's another one of those employer type businesses, right? Placing workers in industries, which PPE, APM, or in that space that have actually come up with good results. This is probably the better looking chart of all the 3 or 4 of them, but they are paying good dividends as well. So you could definitely make a case for any of them to maybe hold on for 12 months and see what happens. However, you've got to be strict with them, because if we are coming into a recession and RBA wants to see unemployment go up, which is really strange, but that's what we want at the moment, then maybe this is not the best place to be. But for the moment, you're okay.
Mineral resources, again, what I spoke about, Wolf, again, you've got the iron ore and you've got the lithium. It's looking extremely good. Yep. I thought Northern Star and Newcrest, best little gold plays if you want to play gold.
I think gold, like I said, we've sort of looking at it positively now, with how things are trending globally. So just got to be some patience. I think just pick the right story and just be patient with it.
Wolf, Iluka starting to bounce up. I know you do like the story. It's one of your preferred stories in the resources sector.
Yep.
Chart looking excellent. CIA, which it's up 3%. Iron ore looking strong, Wolf. Great little company. Most probably, in some ways, you could argue undervalued for the sort of revenue and the potential in the company. But I know there's a risk to it, because they're not. It's a good standard iron ore, but it's a more expensive category with production costs, which is a little bit of a risk with CIA. But with the second phase come on board, and I think that
there's growth there, right? There's growth there.
Yeah.
So that risk sort of maybe is balanced out by the growth that they're coming up with. And we had a bit of a spike in iron ore, so that's why that chart looking much better again. You never know, that could surprise on the upside if they maybe look at addressing some of these costs and trying to curb them somehow.
BKW. I thought that was a good story. I really did like the chart, Wolf. Little bit of a breakout.
That's why the soul looks good too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why soul. So it just all goes hand in hand. Chalice again. Hello, baby. Come on, we're back a little bit. Maybe back to $7.
I like the chart a lot, Dave. Actually, whenever I see a chart that's really gone down, smashed, over smashed, I'd say, right? And then it goes back above that beautiful blue, thick blue line, then I'm super, super interested to see how it goes, because it usually goes on with it a little bit.
And Wolf, we've got another sort of gold play, I think, that's sort of breaking up as well. That understand why that one looks good. You've got INR, a lithium play, sort of breaking up, and it's actually not doing too badly. Now A4N, because I always go and see my the guy in the laundry. I always ask him what he's trading. He loves his risky punts, and he's in A4N. I said, I'll have a look at it for you. And he said,
that sounds very sus, Dave. I see my guy in the laundry.
No,
I'm not sure I'm going, I want to go down that way, but
no, I just take my shirts where he washes them. But he's a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy, and he loves his trading. But
is this where you get all your tips for your charting? Is it?
No, he doesn't chart. Listen. I've told him he can't listen. He hardly speaks English, for one, right? So it's hard to. So he has to write the codes down. But he goes good. Bad, Dave, good. I go, good. It's just a sort of client I like. Good, bad, bad, bad. So good. There's nothing in the middle with him.
Probably works for ASICs. Just wants to test you out.
Yeah, yeah. In the laundrette. Why wouldn't he? Anyway, Wolf, LRS.
Yes.
That's a nice looking chart too. You're very welcome to get excited about any of these if you want to.
Not really.
BDM. So
they're nice looking charts, but once it gets to that exploration mining space, then it's really you're left me behind because there's no fundamentals to it. You are just going with the really good looking charts.
Well, actually, there's a lot of fundamentals. It's the people in the know talking to each other. It's like, I found gold. I found gold. Bye. For BDM. So hot stock 5 weeks ago eventually gets the breakout. Doesn't give you any reason to look in it. A great little breakout. I think at one stage this was up nearly about 50% last week, and that chart looks excelente. So I'm pleased with that performance. GRX. Let's have another move. I don't know what it is. I think we looked at it, didn't we? A bit of a FOMO
Okay, sometimes,
story.
like I said, sometimes it's probably good to not know what they do. Just
well, this was a nice move last week. HPI. So go on, fill me in with this one.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Why it's had such a big jump. And look, I had a look at this one. I'm thinking, I love the chart here. What's going on? Can I put my foot and say, I know what's going on? And I said, no, I don't. So the question is, something must be up, Dave. I'd say maybe we'll see an announcement this week.
Okay, but it's a P of 3.5. Is that correct?
I'm not sure how accurate that is. I'd probably have to have a look at it. You know, when you see a CR3, probably maybe a one-off somewhere in there. So some pubs that made their profit jump significantly before it starts normalizes next year, right? So I don't know, because I don't follow that story extremely closely. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. I think, you know, if say it was a one-off, let's say there may be around 10 times. It's still pretty decent, isn't it? And, you know, hotels and pubs, definitely what do you call it? A defensive type of business in Australia. You know, everyone loves to go to pubs, especially now when the soccer's on. Everyone goes to their pubs to watch the soccer.
Wolf, and a fairly decent div, about 7% gross, correct?
Exactly.
I mean, it's not, listen, a good chart. I like this one. I think you got a little breakup, maybe retesting that $4, but that is good price action, definitely. So there's a few stocks to have a look at, Wolf, and some I think you point out quite nicely, looking interesting. I don't think there's anything that's really, unfortunately, I don't think apart from Ainsworth, AGI, I think there's very few stocks that just really jumped out and said this looks amazing. We didn't have any amazing buy signals on the weekend.
No.
We didn't have any really amazing sort of, I'd say, value stories. You know, we didn't.
But look, there's some nice charts. Yeah, absolutely. But like you said, there was nothing that slapped you in the face and buy me now.
Yeah, we didn't have like
except AGI, of course, because that was a hot stock, right? So that's a no-brainer. Oh my God, I just said it again.
Don't ever use that word ever again. What?
Anyway, look, it's okay. We've got an okay start of the week. We just need to see how we go for the rest of the year, Dave. I know there was two things that happened. First of all, we had Powell, you know, saying that things may be starting to slow down, which is good, which means slowing down the interest rate rises. But then we saw the unemployment numbers in the US, and there wasn't a good number at all for that fact. So I think the market's sort of waiting for the next loads of information to see what happens. But generally speaking, I still think value.
Well, the inflation numbers still for me look high.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, they're down because the oil price is slightly down, but food's up. All the major stuff. Look,
it's not going to come down overnight to manageable levels. It's going to be a long grind ahead.
And we've got the interest rate decision tomorrow.
We do.
What are you saying?
I think expectations are 0.25, I think.
0.25. Okay. On that note, thank you very much, Wolfie. Absolutely brilliant as always. And be careful. Good trading, everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.